Well, Michelle, councillors are certainly facing a lot of pressure from both sides of this very highly charged issue that include considerations of safety while balancing the right to demonstrate. Ultimately, council will decide here today whether to make some areas around some vulnerable institutions no-go zones for protests.
In response to protests that have proliferated on the doorsteps of places of worship across the GTA, Toronto Council will today decide whether to implement so-called bubble zones around faith-based institutions, daycares and schools.
This is an additional tool that will help bylaw, will help law enforcement to clear out and protect some of these spaces, particularly around places of worship, which we have seen have been targeted with hate, harassment, intimidation and violence.
City staff have recommended prohibiting protests within 20 meters of vulnerable institutions, but not as a blanket ban. Instead, requiring organizations to apply for the protection that would be in place for 6 months. Critics, though, maintain a bubble zone bylaw would infringe on the right to protest.
Spaces belong to everybody, and everybody has the right to express themselves. If we don't encourage the right to protest, we lose all the democratic rights that have been built up in Canada over time.
Vaughan and Brampton have passed similar bylaws establishing a 100-meter bubble zone without requiring individual applications. Some councillors maintaining this shouldn't be a decision made at the city level.
I'm concerned that we are violating people's charter rights. Toronto is a very diverse city with people from different ethnic backgrounds.
It doesn't take any rights away. It doesn't take away the right to protest, the right to picket, or the right to free speech. And all it's doing is extending rights to those who want to walk into vulnerable institutions.
A contentious question for council, which will decide if and where the line lies on public protests.
And we are expecting some attempts by some councillors to tweak the details on the staff suggested components of this bylaw that could include extending that 20-meter bubble zone perimeter to 50 or 100 meters, as well as possibly removing the burden on institutions to apply for this protection. We'll keep a close eye on this debate and bring you the latest tonight at 5 and 6 o'clock. Reporting live in the chamber, I'm Natalie Johnson, Nathan and Michelle. Over to you.
Thank you.